up towards Jarrell. I'll actually just show it to you all over again. I'll flip it over onto, eventually, onto your velocity and kind of show you what happened. I'll turn off the lightning too. I can kind of get in the way as well. But you can see what happened here. See if Granger radar had that. Turn off Austin's. Because this is before, Austin, before Killeen radar, KGRK, went down because of a lightning strike or straight line wind gusts. This is what the radar looked like, and this is why we're talking about that tornado warning, which has finally expired. You can see it's completely off of our map right now, likely going to be replaced by either a severe thunderstorm warning or a special weather statement for a strong but sub-severe thunderstorm out towards Granger and Hare. But really, this is what we're talking about. We saw this go right across the highway, so basically we're dealing with this area right here. That would be the approximate area that we're going to be seeing the greatest damage. It would not be surprising to me. Let me see if I can get any roads down in this area. If we're talking about Little Road and County Road 310 on the intersection of I-35 and County Road 310, also County Road 311, and just to the north of Ronald Reagan Boulevard along I-35. That's where I would anticipate the worst of the damage is. This is also near just to the south of Sonterra Boulevard. And it does look like this tornado went across right approximately here. Which again, let me see if I can get you some roadways for you. That's County Road 314 towards County Road 312, Druce Lane, County Road 375. And this is up in Williamson County, just to the south of Jarrell. This tornado was about 3 miles to the south of Jarrell and pretty much stayed that way as it went through the countryside. It went just to the north of New Corn Hill, is headed towards Schwartner, but again, it weakened, thankfully, and really got itself, picked itself up off the ground, and that thunderstorm has now sort of blown itself out and is really weakening quite a bit. I'll try and put it back over onto reflectivity and give you back to the Austin KEWX radar because of the lightning and the severe weather that knocked out KGRK. But I will eventually get it to you. Bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties on Max 2. Max 2 is just sort of taking its time, poking along here. It's doing a good job, but it's just taking its time. Here we go. We got ourselves the rain off to the east, and definitely that storm has weakened massively in the Granger and Davila area. No, not even a severe thunderstorm warning for that area. Taylor seeing some heavy rain, some very strong winds, some frequent lightning, same thing down towards Pflugerville and Hutto, and then the 360 interchange right up near Leander and Jollyville. Abercrombie seeing some very heavy rain. You might even see a little bit of small hail out of that between Pflugerville and Manda and Lund. You're going to be starting to see the very heavy rain pretty soon as well. The good news with all of this, none of this necessarily looks particularly intense. Tornado-wise, you can see that line, the gust front line right out here, moving through Onion Creek, moving through Buda. You're going to be seeing some very, very strong winds into the Creedmoor and Mustang Ridge area. Mountain City about to see some extremely strong winds as well. Wimberley seeing some very heavy rain, some frequent lightning, and all of this as well. That gust front is getting pretty close, but it means that these thunderstorms are not surface-based, which is essentially, it means that the updraft has been lifted up above the surface and is bouncing on top of that gust front. That means that there is enough of a connection that goes between, enough of a disconnect between the updraft and downdraft that there's not going to be a tornado. A tornado needs a very solid connection to the ground with that updraft, not to mention the very intense rotation. And we do have that very intense rotation, however, we do not have the connection between the updraft and the downdraft. It's all a very complicated situation right here, but overall, what we're dealing with right now in Austin is some pretty much constant cloud to ground lightning, also some extremely heavy rain. We have preliminary spotter report, possible tornado located at I-35 between exits 273 and 272 in Jarrell. This is from the National Weather Service. This is not confirmed just yet. It flipped over empty livestock haulers and flatbed trucks. A semi-truck was flipped on the side on southbound I-35. Same area was pretty well defined in that couplet that I just showed you. That tornado that I showed you that moved across I-35 just about 3 miles to the south of Jarrell. Here we go. We got Austin dealing with some very heavy rain. Mountain City, you're dealing with that severe warned thunderstorm. Both of these severe warned thunderstorms, this one goes until 10:15. That's for Kyle, Euland, Mountain City, Niederwald. We got ourselves quite a bit of lightning down towards heading into San Marcos. That severe warned thunderstorm goes until 10:15. Storm and severe warned thunderstorm for Austin also goes until 10:15. So lots of severe warnings out right now. All of these severe thunderstorms are moving off to the east at about 50 miles per hour, could be producing about 60 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hail. Radar indication is basically the reason that they are giving this warning. We have not seen any confirmations of those 60 mile per hour winds. However, we do have a report in Windermere in Travis County. They report 1-inch tree limbs broken and shingles blown off roofs. So the time is estimated right around 9:03 p.m., which basically is right about here. It's right as that line of thunderstorms is moving through the Lakeway and into Barton Creek area, and that's when the thunderstorms would have been producing some extremely strong winds. Of course, they've moved into the Austin area, produced some very strong winds as well. They're moving through Manor and towards Elgin, and are moving off into eastern parts of Travis County. Wimberley is getting the worst of it right about now. Some very, very heavy rain, likely some small hail, very gusty winds as well, and of course that constant cloud to ground lightning. I'll show you just how much lightning we're getting, just because I am curious. I know. So we're going to be dealing with about 224 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes or so. So it's a huge amount of lightning. Please remember, when the thunder roars, head indoors. You don't need to be seeing any of this. If you're in Wimberley, it's going to be raining. You won't be able to see anything as well. Not to mention if you're in San Marcos and you're hoping to see some of these lightning strikes, you're not going to see either. All of these lightning strikes are going to be on the inside of the downdraft. If you are in Blanco, you are safe. Head out outside, take a look out. It's going to be to your south and east. You will be able to see some of those lightning strikes. Dripping Springs, please stay indoors. Buda, you're going to be dealing with the lightning strikes pretty soon. Austin, Pflugerville, you're dealing with lightning right about now. Out towards Manor and Taylor, also dealing with those lightning strikes. We can talk about the there we go. Severe thunderstorm watch. Severe thunderstorm watch has likely been expired. Yep, everything has expired right now, and then we've got that tornado watch, which is still in effect. This is going to go all the way through until midnight, and it does include all of those areas highlighted in yellow. Again, we are under a slight risk for severe weather. That is for today, and it is for pretty much the entirety of our viewing area. Now, basically, we can start to kind of chop this off unofficially to the west, basically from about I-35 as it departs Williamson County on down to about the intersection of Blanco and Hayes County, right about here. That's pretty much where we can kind of chop it on off. It'll take a little bit for everything to update. However, wind and hail is still going to be a big threat, especially the winds. You could be seeing winds gusting up to about 70 miles per hour, and also we're going to be dealing with that tornado threat. We may have an issue on satellite and radar. Right now, I'm looking down to the west of San Marcos. I'll show it to you right here. I have to reload my radar for you. But there is an indication that something might get a little bit more dangerous out to the west of San Marcos. I'm going to show it to you in a second, then I'll drop it over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Fisher. But once this sets up, I can kind of show you what I am seeing eventually. So they just put out another severe thunderstorm warning for Bastrop, Hayes, Lee, Travis County. I'm trying to get this to you. Max 2 still, it's pokey this evening. So here we go. This is what I'm looking at right here. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but there is a little tiny bit of a kink right now. And we're going to have to watch for it very closely. Now, this is also, like I was saying, this is where approximately that gust front is. However, what can happen is that the winds can really blast in back behind it, just sort of like this, and they can really start to overtake those thunderstorm outflow line. So you in Redwood, you in San Marcos, you need to start taking your tornado precautions just in case. Get everything all ready. Get yourself all set to, hopefully you won't have to, but you may need to run to your tornado safe area. Remember, that is an interior room of your house. It is basically put as many walls between you and the outside of the house on the first floor. If you're in an apartment building, and go downstairs to the first floor. Make friends with your basement neighbors living on the first floor. I'm sure if there is a tornado warning, they will be very understanding and take you in and allow you to shelter in there. Scott, to you.
All right, let's get you caught up on the situation. Right now, there is no tornado warning. We have no tornado warnings for any county. We had them for Milam. We had them for Williamson. Those have expired. We have severe thunderstorm warnings that continue down to the south, but not tornadic activity. These go until 10:15, so we've got another 45 minutes, give or take. Areas in red under the watch. Watch meaning watch out. They had this area under the watch, and sure enough, we had at least 1 or 2 spots that may have seen tornadic activity. Radar tour from Milam County, central portion of the county, down toward eastern Williamson. I mean, it's only been 45 minutes and the thing's already across Williamson. These are 50-plus mile-per-hour storms that are racing across. Travis County getting it now, and we told you what's to the west of San Marcos. Let's dive in. This was the storm that we were concerned about that may have had a tornado. Doesn't look like it does now, but it is raining very, very heavily in Cameron. Rain rates about 4 or 5 inches per hour, the last estimate I checked. Rain rates in the Austin area, 2 to 3 inches per hour. But remember, it's not going to rain for an hour. It's going to rain for 15, 20, 25 minutes at that pace, which means you get about 3/4 of an inch of rain. It is welcome. Do be on the lookout. There are spots that are going to get some ponding on the roads, and there are spots that are going to get, obviously, a lot of lightning. The strongest of the storm right now does appear to be south of Wimberley and west of San Marcos. We're going to be monitoring this, as will the Weather Service. There is no tornado warning on this storm. We don't have a report of any damage. We don't even have reports of large hail. Indications are that hail is probably pea to marble sized if it's falling, but this may intensify over the next bit, so we are going to continue to watch that. Max Storm Radar showing the lightning, and the lightning has been evident. Doesn't matter where you are in this storm. Warn storm, warn not warn storm. We want you indoors if you hear that thunder. You've just got to be away from it. I've got the Funk and Associates camera up. This is roughly I-35 and 51st Street. You see the rooster tails in the back of the cars. Things are moving fairly well. I've got the TxDOT traffic cam here up 183 toward Balcones. We're doing okay. The roads are wet. And I've got one more camera for you, I-35 and 11th near downtown. Slow go of it. Some of the heaviest rains falling right in your backyard now, but it does not look like this is going to be a major tornado outbreak. You can see some lightning there on that TxDOT traffic cam. We're going to continue with weather coverage and get you some news as well. Once again, we are not in a tornado warning situation. We do have severe thunderstorms that linger. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Keep it here.